Today is another day in paradise. I kind of want to get away from saying like the day and the date, but I don't really know. Today is Wednesday, July 10th. As you can see, I don't have a beard anymore. I just really wanted to see my chin. But I'm making this video, talk about a few things really quick. So, a few things. Not like anything serious, but I read this article. It talked about how working with teenage boys will help you manage your anger better. And because that is like my job, I can totally see how like teenage boys help you do that. When I was a teenage boy, you're at a place in life where you're so influential that it just you're in building your identity. I feel like you're basically you're testing the boundaries of everything around you. So you're gonna see how far you can, push people, how far they can push you. You're in such a state of acting and reacting to everything around you just to see what you're capable of. And I thought that was really true. So I thought that was cool. So if you've never worked with teenage boys before, I would suggest doing it at some point in your life. You might learn something about yourself. Sorry, I just kind of woke up not too long ago. I look kind of ill. What else is I going to talk about? So I have this thing called a daily routine. It's basically like a list of things I do. It's just like if I'm sitting somewhere and I don't know what else to do. I'm sitting somewhere, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I'm just kind of like freaking out inside, like anxiety kicks in, or like I'm basically just lost for that second. I think of something on my daily routine. And basically it's just a bunch of verbs. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I'll definitely go through a few. Breathe, 100% important. Stretch, that's important too. People should stretch every day. Floss. Be nervous. I saw this thing on the internet talked about how when you're nervous, it's a good thing because it means you're still kind of searching for more information around you. Like if you're not nervous, you're just cool. You're just like, all right, I got it, I'll figure it out. Like it's all good. But if you're nervous, it's like, all right, I still need something, and that's good. The next one is, how can I better serve my clients? The next one is conflict. I read something else on the internet. Just talked about how we shouldn't avoid conflict. We should embrace it. Just kind of like don't run away from it because conflict will bring out the leader in you, or, see what kind of leader you could be, maybe not are at the moment, things need to improve on, stuff like that. Mewing. So if you go on YouTube, search up mewing, Mewing. It's basically having like correct tongue posture. Basically, like your tongue is is at the roof of your mouth, and like it helps you like with your jaw, like become. You can look up all the videos on it. There's a lot of videos, but you'll know you're doing it right when you do it. This like will start to move a little, or it'll like a frog, like, and you just hold it there. So I do that when I'm standing sometimes. Let's see. I'm not gonna go through all these, but power poses, those are good. Body language and all that. Don't stand on the arches of your feet. I have flat feet, so I need to remind myself not to do that. That's pretty much it. I have also here be humble and reciprocate. So being humble is a good thing and a bad thing, to be honest with you. Of course, we all know being the good part about being humble is like, you're willing to let things slide. You're willing to basically lessen your own how do I say this? Basically, the bad part about being humble is that when you take the back seat to something, like when you're like, okay, I'm gonna let this slide, or I'm gonna let this breeze over. I mean, you have or had the opportunity to, you know, assert yourself in that situation, or maybe not avoid that conflict that you maybe needed to see what kind of person you are, what kind of person the other person is. So that goes both ways. Reciprocate. I don't know. I was watching some video or reading something. It just talked about how, you know, all we really want at the end of the day is some reciprocation. Just like, I love you too. Hey. That's pretty much it. I was gonna make a separate video on something else. There's a YouTube page called Archangel, and this person uploads all these videos on Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson, he has a lot of good stuff to say, in my opinion. So I think you should watch a lot of those videos. They also have really good thumbnails, so like you'll be entertained, or I was entertained when I saw it. A few things he says real quick, or just a few like quotes that first come to my head. It says like, you have to be willing to lose your life and able to find it. The way I interpreted that is that, you know, you have to be willing to let go of who you were yesterday to see who you can be today, tomorrow. That's as plain as simple as I can explain it. Kind of going off that, this was a quote from a book I have. It said, if we're not willing to risk going too far, how far will we know we'll be able to go? I guess I'll leave you on that note.